Well, if elected to the White House, presidential candidate Governor Mike Huckabee has some pretty drastic plans for these sanctuary cities, and he joins us now to explain. Governor, nice to see you this morning.
Great to be with you guys. You know, I think the sanctuary city idea has proven to be a total disaster. This is where a government at the local level is essentially flaunting the law and says, we're not going to obey it. We're going to harbor people who have been committing crimes. If I do that as an individual, then I am aiding and abetting. I could be arrested for that. I'm amazed that people would defend the idea of keeping criminals from being arrested or deported when they have done harm to people. It's just crazy.
It's outrageous. It is absolutely outrageous, and we just had a legal debate on it, this very issue, and it's unconscionable that you could go around federal law. As president, though, Governor Huckabee, what would you do? You've heard Donald Trump out on the stump saying, look, my other fellow candidates, they don't have a plan. No one's talking about it because it's uncomfortable. I have a plan. But you do have a plan. Tell us about it.
Well, I've said several times. First, we've got to end the catch-and-release program that the president has put in place. That's a disaster. Stop federal funding to sanctuary cities. Nothing will get their attention like the checkbook, believe me. As a person who ran a state, when you start thinking you're going to pay a price, that'll get your attention, and that will get their attention. Another thing we need to do is to treat these Mexican drug cartels, or any drug cartels, doesn't matter where they come from, treat them as terrorist organizations, because that's what they are. And we need to be very, very clear that we're not going to harbor criminals through sanctuary cities. That is simply not going to be the case. But let me say this. We've got to be very careful that we don't try to say that every person who comes to America is coming because they want to rape or murder somebody. That's unfair to the millions of people, not just from Mexico or Central America, but from all over the world who have come to America because they love this country and they want to achieve what many of us have been so blessed to be able to achieve, the American dream.
Governor, just crossing the AP wires in the past couple of minutes is that there appears to be a preliminary deal in the works in Vienna as it relates to the Iran nuclear deal. They say it could be announced as early as tomorrow. Everybody's been talking about immigration. You've spent a lot of time talking not only about the threat from Iran, the negotiations, but also about Israel, and you have a new ad out talking about that. I want to play the ad and then get your thoughts.
It's one of the most controversial ads in campaign history, famously only aired one time. Governor Huckabee, why are you re-airing it?
I'm reminding people that nuclear threats are real and we can't take them lightly. To do anything that would let the Iranians move toward nuclear capacity is absolute insanity. We need to be standing with Israel, not Iran. This idea of sitting down at the table with people who, even as we are at the table, are chanting death to America and vowing to destroy our one reliable ally in the Middle East, Israel, this is utter insanity. I don't know why in the world we think we can trust the Iranians. They've never, ever kept a deal they've made. There's no reason to believe they suddenly will.
And they're concerned, one of their big sticking points right now, Governor, is when will the inspectors show up? How much access will we have to the inspectors ahead of? I mean, it seems ridiculous that we would give them a schedule ahead of time as to when inspectors are going to show up.
That's the whole point. There's not going to be a schedule. Their parliament voted not to let people come in to inspect their military. This is why this deal needs to be rejected. John Kerry needs to get up on his crutches, walk out of the room, and bid them goodbye, go to Jerusalem, hug Netanyahu, and say, we'll stand with our friends, not our enemies. That's how this ought to go down.
Governor Huckabee, always great to see you here on Fox and Friends. Thanks so much for joining us.